I'm aware. I'm aware.
So yeah, that brings us to the brand new record, Battle Lessons. Again, working with Nick and your co-writer. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how this record came together for you?
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny talking to you two right now after everything we've just talked about in the previous hour, and now we're focusing on Battle Lessons. It's my favorite record I've ever made in my entire career. More than Brother Kane, more than Black Star Riders, anything. For no other reason than each of the 9 songs brings me deep joy. You know, the writing of them, making the demos. I would literally be sitting downstairs in my little workstation, guys, just laughing, going, this is going to be so badass, man. You know, I just knew it was going to be great. And this was before Nick had agreed to produce. You know, I knew the songs had something extra special about them. I was like, if Nick will just give me his focused listening for 10 minutes and let me play snippets of 3 songs, I'm telling you, he's going to want to produce. And that's exactly what happened. You know, it's the kind of energy I wish I could bottle, you know, because I feel like now with Battle Lessons, I've set the bar so high just from a focus standpoint, from a writing standpoint, from a sonic standpoint. I mean, it's just such a big sounding record. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than, you know, my big want right now is just to be able to play, get on stage in front of any crowd, anywhere. I don't care what the situation. We just want to play as much as we can.
I'll add just a little bit to it. This record, for me and you, every song that brings you joy. I think if you're a fan of all the bands that you've played in, a fan of the bands that you love, that we all love of that genre of music, there's not a bad song on this record. There's a badass song on this record, but there's not a bad song on this record. And,
Thank you.
And with all the artists that I've worked with, Dave, that you've worked with over the years, there's always like, oh, this is amazing, this is amazing. You know, I don't know about that, but this one's amazing. Mm-hmm. And every song on this record is different. Every song has something to say. Every song sonically just rips. And it's an amazing record. It's a great body of work. And as I told you earlier, I'm like, congratulations, you made an amazing record. Get ready because you got to write another one before too long. That's going to be as good or better.
I think his exact words were, congratulations, you've made an incredible record. Good luck on the next one.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, when you think back to Brother Kane and some of the stuff that we even talked about where you didn't totally fit at the right radio for, like you couldn't make that crossover to alternative. And but even for me as a listener at that time, I didn't see much different, you know. And I think like even when I get to this album, like I hear some of the same stuff. Like I hear that you did something that a lot of these guys couldn't do that were doing that, you know, whether it was, you know, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, like all the Stone Temple Pilots, like all these guys that were kind of had this one kind of sonic direction. Like you do reflect some of these classic rock roots. They were present in Brother Kane. And I think with these, you've done a great job of still bringing that stuff in, you know, where you can still hear that, but it still sounds fresh and new and interesting. And just like with Brother Kane, there's like just things that you can't even sometimes put your finger on that make it not sound like someone's trying to make a classic rock record, you know, and it does, it rips. I mean, this album is next level from the last one.
Thank you, Dave.
Battle Lessons is the title track. Tell me about that song.
There's a great story with Battle Lessons. Johnny Blade, you know, we treated the writing of Battle Lessons very much like we did Memoirs of an Uprising, where I would drive down to Huntsville to his house and we would start throwing ideas back and forth. I would bring a bunch, he would have a bunch. And he played me kind of the musical bed that is Battle Lessons. The working title he had was Delete, Delete, Delete. And he said, man, I can't wait for you to hear this. And he plays me the track. And it sounded like The Trooper by Iron Maiden. Like almost totally like The Trooper by Iron Maiden. And I discounted it. I said, I don't know, man. I said, that's cool, but it just sounds like a Steve Harris, right? And I don't delete. It's just not connecting with me. Like, what does that mean? He goes, well, you know, like you're writing an email and you're about to hit send, and then you realize, oh, I can't get this out. If somebody else, you know, so-and-so sees this, it's going to affect our relationship. So you start hitting the delete button. And I go, okay, bro, sounds great. And I just moved on to the next song. And we got back together a second time. And like a kid, you know, reaching over for a donut, you know, not to be noticed, he slides that lyric, you know, back over on the table. He's like, bro, I don't want you to give up on this. I said, all right, man, put the track back up. Let me hear it again. And I walked into the kitchen to get, you know, some tap water. He's playing the track, and it goes to that second chord change. And as I'm walking down those steps, I go, da 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 da, that melody. And he stops the tape and he goes, that's it. That's what I'm looking for, man. And I knew that melody was good. You know, if you're a songwriter, you know when you've come up with something that's like not just a B-side. Like I knew it was, and this is before I'd written the lyric, you know, because the track had energy and I had that melody. So I said, okay, bro, you got me. I'm in. I sang into my phone some more melodies. And I said, let me take this home and work on it, but I'm changing that lyric. It's not good. That's not going to be the lyric.
Delete that lyric.
So, you know, I went home
delete.
as I do, man, and put it in the laboratory, made a little drum track and started working. And the song is about some frustrating relationships I've had in the music business with band members, you know. As we become adults, it's harder to get 4 or 5 guys to be on the same page because you got different commitments, you have different wants and desires and priorities, and it's just tough. And what the beautiful thing about it is it just sounds like you're talking about a relationship with a girl or, you know, but it represents so much more to me.
For your sin.